The world is full of challenges, and global challenges require fact-based knowledge and actions for the world to get sustainable solutions.
Collaborative research and knowledge sharing across countries and the continents is gaining more importance.
We are gathered here in Tanzania, 50 researchers from 20 research institutions in 7 African countries, and also 6 universities from Denmark, 1 from Australia. We are here to discuss equitable partnerships. Sarah, I always enjoy your presentations. Your presentation about equitable partnerships in hierarchical knowledge system production was extremely useful. Could you summarize how that would influence our thinking and practices as well?
Beyond the knowledge being researched about is a whole set of power relations. Those power relations are evident when we are doing the direct research, but they're also evident in what we decide to research on. They are also evident in the methods we use, because for long, the Global South and Africa in particular have been considered as simply consumers of secondary knowledge, not producers of their own knowledge. So if we are to be producers of our own knowledge, we cannot just continue mimicking what the West has done. We cannot just continue being native informers of what happens in the African context. We have to go further and produce primary knowledge.
Associate Professor Charles, you facilitated a session financing research projects. What are the implications?
What often happens when we look at development research partnerships is we have strong narratives and supportive comments around equity and justice. But when we drill down and look into the financial aspects, the budgeting, financial reporting, the accountability back to donors, that's where we see the power differential play out upon those in the South.
Setting a research agenda is such an important issue in these collaborative partnerships. And you just facilitated a session about this area. So what are the main takeaways?
First of all is understanding what determines the core areas.
Okay.
Is key. Facilitating social engagement between African researchers and Northern researchers. And then bringing Afrocentric theories into the equation.
Authorship between North and South researchers. Why is this topic of importance?
For an author to be part of a publication, that author, whether it's from the North or from the South, have to work together. When you conduct research, the end result is a publication, and that's a joint activity.
Konso, you presented about messiness of decolonization and the complexities of everyday humanitarianism in Tanzania. What can we learn from your project?
Our main focus is to try to deconstruct and challenge the notions that humanitarianism has been perceived as a state-centric, north to south responses to crises that happen in the southern context. But in our research, we are trying to give power and urgency and try to understand what ordinary people in their localities, in their everyday life, respond to crises such as floods, such as earthquake, before this formal humanitarian assistance arrives.
Noted mutual learning in research. Why is that important?
Mutual learning is actually recognitions of each other's source of knowledge and knowledge systems. We should include the communities So it is not only about the researchers to researchers, but also learning with the inclusions of the communities, plus all other stakeholders.
We have had very useful and important discussions in these 2 days about partnerships in research, and a lot of the recommendations have been given.
Mutual learning should be deliberate right from the beginning of the partnership, and issues such as publication should be discussed early enough.
And another area is financing, which is crucial for research. In financing, we discuss about how to reduce inequities. First is to recognize the resources, but also the capacity of South partners. The second is to engage the government, because also we think, thirdly, that it is important to reduce dependence of South partners to the north.
Under authorship, we discussed that researchers should be able to publish in open access journals to enable access for the South researchers.
But we also discussed about research agenda, the setting of research agenda, and it is critically important that both South and North partners start discussions about research agenda from the beginning of their partnership.
For me personally, these 2 days have been so important and so beneficial, and I hope that we'll continue with such meetings in the future. And you?
I fully agree, and the 2 days have made me think a lot. As a South researcher, I need to make contribution to knowledge while also ensuring that the partnership remains equal.
The lopsided relationship between the global North and South needs to be restructured.
Northern researchers need to make deliberate choices to cite Southern journals if we want to change the narrative around what is a good journal.
Capacity building is good, but you need infrastructure to actualize the benefits of capacity building. Otherwise, you'll be training for people to leave the continent.